Hi, I am Sherry Phillips, CEO of Forbes, and with me today I have Tim Armstrong, who is the CEO and founder of Flowcode.
Sherry, great to be here, and thank you for having us out to Aspen to the CMO event. It's been amazing.
Thank you, and thanks for being here. I've been following your work for so many years, and it's just a pleasure to have you in person here. So tell us a little bit about Flowcode and what it does and what we should know about it.
Sure. So we started Flowcode with this really simple premise, which is we have a concept of instantly connecting fans to brands, and where the world was going, and I came from this world, is almost every brand, there was a platform between their fans and the brand, and we wanted to make the lightest version of how fans could connect to the brands they love. And so we tested a lot of different technologies, and we launched Flowcode about 5.5 years ago. And really what we do today is one simple thing, is we connect the real world economy, which is 80% of the economy, 20% is digital. And we help brands put touch points out in the world that help their fans that are interacting with them in the real world instantly connect to digital funnels and become really kind of like a brand member. And we really think about fans as fanatics because most people really love brands. So that's what Flowcode does, and we do it for NBA, NFL, NHL, Kraft Heinz, Delta, tons of brands now are really understanding that they should have direct access to all of their customers and not have to go through platforms.
It's incredible. So what are the biggest problems marketers are facing right now? I mean, there's tons of them, so give us in your mind kind of what are the top one or two right now?
Yeah, I visited about 50 CMOs this summer, and by the end of the summer, there were really three big things that were on CMOs' minds. One is the traffic disruption by AI, things like Google Zero, and a lot of our brands we're working with are down 7 to 40% in traffic, so they have to figure out how to get direct traffic to their brands. The second piece, which is really important, is almost all brands have a black hole area. Like the sports teams, for instance, they only know about 40 to 60% of the people in stadiums. In many cases, they don't know who's watching broadcast. CPG brands don't know who's really buying their products and services. So we spend a lot of time with brands helping them basically create channels so they can understand who those people are. And the third piece really is like, I call it C2B instead of B2B or B2C, which is people really need to enable their touch points with consumers. And I think that we're in a world right now where both consumers and creators and community have to be the front end driver of your business. And I think a lot of businesses approach marketing as B to C, and they put the B first. But I think consumers these days used to do media plans where you like plan how you're going to reach consumers. Today, consumers are eating on their own. So I think it's less important to plan than it is to find out the eating arrangements they're having for content and community and get in front of that. And I think that's a really sizable change for CMOs.
Are you seeing brands who are obsessing about their customer and their communities, like doing it really, really well? Like give an example of someone that you're like, oh, they just nailed that.
Yeah, one that was really interesting over the last, this year is at my house when I would come home from work, my youngest daughter was having Love Island watching parties, which I was like, we're back to appointment viewing TV, which was amazing. But the most amazing thing for us is Love Island and NBC are partners of ours. And I'm not 100% up to speed on Megan Thee Stallion, but I know she is. And when she came on, she sold out her swimwear, instantaneously. And Love Island basically thought about their show as a two-way connection point with the audience. So I would say they're like one of the best examples of C2B because they designed the show to be like, how do we start with the C and connect with the consumers? And then they had creators on like Megan Thee Stallion, and that was probably the best example. I think the NFL's done a great job, and the NBA has done a great job, and NHL of basically putting two-way connections in stadium and programming. And Kraft Heinz has done it with putting AR on Lunchables and some of their other products. So the companies that we see doing a very good job at C2B are getting very good results. Mm-hmm. And my guess is if you go forward 2 or 3 years with AI and the disruptions on traffic and really people needing first-party relationships, these touch points, the average Fortune 500 brand has 14 real-world touch points, and basically 0 of them right now are enabled unless they're doing something like Flowcode. So we see a big opportunity for that in the future.
And it's interesting when you and I both started in this business, and again going from print into digital, and then all of that transformation. What we were seeing is a lot of quality and community focus on the customer. Then of course digital transformation
Yep.
just really increased that at paces that we just couldn't have
Yep.
gotten our heads around at that time. And now it's come back to exactly where we started, really,
Yeah.
where it's about back to the consumer, back to that quality, but that interaction, that intersection
Yep.
that I think will drive more meaningful engagement, and just lots of different opportunities. And AI will just accelerate that execution.
Yeah, and I think like Forbes, as you guys have, as told you before it came on camera, that you guys have done a really good job of it. And I think if you look at kind of the way from the outside, I don't know the inside of the strategy at Forbes, but you guys have done a great job internationalizing over time and really like expanding the brand. I think second of all, is you've done a very good job on the community building, with people, and I see it here live in Aspen, but I also see it on social, and I see it in all the ways that you guys built your contributor network and those things. So I think, the brands that are forward leaning and go into the disruption and really get in front of it are going to have a big advantage. But you guys here, at least at the CMO Summit, it really feels like a community, and I think that's a word that gets mentioned a lot by the CMOs here. And I think that you guys think about your customers as fans, and they're fans of each other and fans of Forbes and fans of the brands they work for. And I think that mentality is like 100% going to be needed. And it's not, I think infinite scroll is a black hole. And if you don't have people that understand what your brand is and why they should stop on your brand and pay attention to what you're doing, it's going to be really hard to build a company.
Well, thank you so much. Thank you for those kind words. Excited to see more from Flowcode, more brands out there. And thank you for being here with us at the Forbes CMO Summit.
Thanks for hosting, Sherry.